Welcome to the Cosmic Soul Podcast, your weekly microdose of motivation and inspiration to get you charged and ready to manifest the life you were born to live. I'm your host, Debbie, here to remind you that you are the creator. Let's get to work. Yes, and yes. Let's get to working on making every day the greatest and most primed for potential day it can possibly be. Let's get to working on opening our hearts and minds to the universe, ourselves, and each other. Today's episode is all about getting it done, finito. But before we get into our focus today, I have an important announcement for you wonderful listeners and supporters of the podcast. After 6 months of weekly episodes, which has been such an amazing journey so far, I have decided that for my own health and growth, the show needs to switch to a bi-weekly schedule. It's an idea that I've played around with for a little while now. I work a full-time job, which has gotten much more hectic the past few months. But the main reason I've decided to make this switch is because I have recently been certified in and attuned to 3 different types of Reiki in the past 3 months. If you don't know what Reiki is, it's a type of energy healing, and I highly recommend you give it a Google to learn more because it's amazing and can certainly do wonders for all types of physical and emotional pain and disorders, as well as spiritual healing and breakthroughs. And on top of the various Reikis I've taken classes for, I also just started working on my certification for angelic healing, which I'm really excited about. And I'm doing all of this because it's what I've been led to, and it's something I'm extremely passionate about. I really love helping others, and I want to extend that further. I'm going to be focusing on starting my own energy healing business in the near future. And I also want to blog more and work on more music and art. I miss it all so much. So instead of publishing every Sunday, it will now be every other Sunday, 2 episodes a month instead of 4. I'm going to play around with adding another section to the show to make it just a little bit longer too. I hope you understand this is something I need to do, and I really hope that if you are called to do something that your heart and soul is leading you to, that you take that leap, even if it scares you, even if you have no idea what you're doing, because that's when adventure starts and when magic happens. Okay, on to today's tarot card. We are keeping it simple and going through the motions, even if they're not the most exciting motions. Let's take a look at the loyal and responsible Knight of Pentacles. Our knight is sitting on a stationary drought horse. The color of his horse is black, which is symbolic of the element of earth, as well as the pentacles of the tarot. The knight is carefully holding and gazing at a pentacle in his hands. He seems to be planning his next move thoughtfully. In the background is a field that the knight has thoroughly plowed in gently flowing rows, symbolizing the hard work, dedication, and perhaps even dull, repetitive work required to realize the dreams that we are pursuing. This card is about those daily tasks and the responsibilities you need to follow through on to accomplish your goal. The Knight of Pentacles is relaxed and patient, as we should all be when we are working towards something that truly and wholeheartedly matters to us. The Knight of Pentacles is also known for being extremely loyal, not only to others, but to his duties. Our big goals require us to be fully present with them at all times. When we make a decision to do something, we have to be fully committed to it if we ever want to see it blossom into fruition and its full potential. Half-assing your dreams will just give you half-ass results. That field of yours should be carefully and mindfully tended for so you can sit back at the end of the day and know you did the best you could and be filled with a sense of pride and accomplishment that you are one step closer to manifesting your dream. Even if those little tasks are boring and repetitive, they are necessary to getting the job done. Because let's face it, someone has to do them, and guess what? It has to be you. So, go through the motions with a smile and knowing that you are actively pursuing your dreams. Sometimes it's just not as glamorous as the start or the finish. That's okay. Trust the process and trust yourself. You've taken the leap and you've made your decision. That's the hardest part. Stay focused and productive. You have got this. Our Oracle Cards message brings the literal concept of tending to the land into our spectrum. From the Starseed Oracle, we have pulled activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you are led. Ley lines are invisible pathways on the land along which energy travels. They can be sensed when we tune into them with our subtle senses. Also known as spirit paths, they've been compared to the meridian system of the body used in Chinese medicine, and they link sacred sites, stone circles, burial mounds, and places of worship worldwide. In Australian Aboriginal culture, songlines were the paths traveled by the creator beings as they made the land and sea during the dreaming. These paths were recorded in the traditional songs and dances of the people, allowing them to access information about the land's history and to travel safely across great distances. Many believe that as we visit such sacred points on Earth, something is activated within us. Some also believe that by connecting with the land with devotion at these sacred places, something is activated within the planet too. Are you being called to travel to a sacred place that your soul remembers, or to tend to the land that you live on? To honor and acknowledge the known and unknown keepers or nature spirits of that land? As you connect with the earth and honor its keepers, the land opens up more fully to hold you, the fruits provide more nourishment, and the guardians watch over you. Tend to and honor not only the land that you are growing your goals, but also to the land that you call home. Up next is our affirmations to help us stay focused and mindful. Let's start by taking 3 slow and deep breaths. Now repeat after me. I am actively working towards my goals. I am actively working towards my goals. I am actively working towards my goals. I am dedicated to each task, great and small. I am dedicated to each task, great and small. I am dedicated to each task, great and small. I am successful every single day. I am successful every single day. I am successful every single day. Today's challenge pairs nicely with the challenge from the last episode, which was called 2022, Your Ultimate Year for Manifesting Anything. And if you haven't listened to or watched that one yet, you should probably go ahead and do that, since it's an important episode to get your fix for inspired action. Your challenge for this episode is to do what you say you're going to do, no matter how big or small it is. And this is especially important. If you tell others you're going to do something, how many times have you shared on social media a big plan of yours only to have never even started working towards it in the first place? And you probably felt a little embarrassed. I've done this a few times in my life, and it definitely did not feel very good. When we say we're going to do something, that starts an assessment of trust and honor to others, but more importantly, to ourselves. If you say you're going to write a book or a song or paint a picture, you need to start it and you need to finish it. Otherwise, you're only creating a pattern of disappointment with yourself, which will lead you to never going for anything. That's the big one. Of course, if it's a big project that can't possibly be done in a day, be that Knight of Pentacles and actively work on it each day. But also extend this to daily tasks. If you say you're going to clean your room, do it. If you say you're going to wash the dishes, do it. Make some juice, even though it's time-consuming and messy, do it. If you've made these promises to others in your household, follow through on your words. That way, the line of trust and happiness within you and your loved ones or roommates remains healthy and intact. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I love you and I love your support, and I'm just so incredibly grateful for you and that you find inspiration and hope from the show. Please follow and subscribe if you haven't already, especially since we're not going to be with each other till the week after next. I don't want you to miss out, especially since there's going to be some new goodies as we get more comfortable and situated in the new schedule. Take a look at the show notes for links to the Cosmic Soul blog, YouTube, and Instagram. Give those a visit and come say hi. And as a final surprise note, I'd like to announce that a Cosmic Soul Patreon is in the works. You'll have a chance to support the show so we can get new oracle cards, music, and much, much more to enhance the podcast. Tiers will range from just $5 a month to $40 with perks like monthly personalized tarot readings, merchandise, distant Reiki healing sessions, and so much more. So keep listening, watching, and keep up with me on Instagram for news on when the Patreon goes live. Whatever your heart is telling you to go for it. You will never truly be led down a path that you can't handle. Have faith in yourself and the universe that everything will work out. You're going to accomplish your dreams. I believe in you. Stay focused and keep going. And stay cosmic.